This whole interesting story begins at school, on a simple day, in a simple classroom. One boy in the class liked a girl very much, he often bought her water, wanted her to accept both the drink and his feelings, but this girl did not like him at all. This boy's name was Son. His body was short and a little bit fat, he was very persistent, he wanted what he wanted to get this girl, but he failed. This girl didn't have a boyfriend, but to stop him from chasing her, she decided to tell him that she did. But he didn't believe her words, he said that he was the only one who had a boyfriend. She looks at him coldly, and she has no feelings for him, he is not her type. The classmates hear all this and whisper among themselves about Sonbi, why he is so annoying, they tell him that she already has a boyfriend and he keeps bothering her. She says she has someone, but they haven't seen anyone with her yet. Because they were talking loudly, the girl heard it all, put her things away and left the classroom. Son followed her, wanted to invite her to lunch, but she said she had already had lunch in the morning, she was very impatient. He wanted to take her to the movies, but she has chicken blindness. He also wanted to ask her out for a walk, but she slammed the door on her way out and he was scared. She is not happy with this whole situation, she does not understand how much longer she has to endure it. One day, some girls were sitting on the street talking to each other about a guy named Jaerim, that he was gay. And all his past relationships were a mistake. That's why they didn't last long. And this guy was walking by, heard everything, and stopped at the moment when they said he had a trashy personality. They don't notice him because he's behind them. They kept talking about him, and then he said something like that. The girls were shocked, they were embarrassed when they saw him, they immediately started running away. He was with a friend, they don't know what to do anymore, because wherever you go, you are always in the center of attention. It's hard for him, everyone whispers about him, he thinks maybe he should take the academy. It all happened like this. When he was sitting in a bar with his friend said that he liked guys, all his friends were shocked, why, he wanted to say something, he said only the name Jaerim, and that when they lived together, and because he was already drunk, he couldn't say it to the end, he lay down on the table and fell asleep. And from that moment on, rumors started to spread that Jaerim was gay, that they were living together, etc. He tried to explain to them that this was not true. And the next day his friend went abroad. His friend advises him to start a relationship with a girl, maybe after that the rumors will subside. He does not want a relationship, it is very difficult for him. His friend looked at him strangely. He doesn't know a girl who needs a boyfriend but doesn't really want to date anyone. They decide to go to a bar, and in this particular bar, the same girl was sitting at the next table with her friends. Son was also there, he made her nervous and she decides to leave, but her friend stops her, asks her not to go anywhere, to stay with him. She agrees. Son continues to court Gaeun, and her friend advises her to pretend that she is dating someone, but she doesn't even have any guy friends, so she has no one to ask. While they were talking, they heard music, or rather someone singing, it was Son, singing about how much he loves her. He got down on one knee, with a cake, he wanted to ask her out, he wanted to kiss her, and she got angry and corked, she hit him on the lip, he got a big gash. She asks him not to be so selfish because he makes her feel embarrassed. She called him selfish, and he says he's not selfish, and she's making him jealous of a guy who doesn't exist. He doesn't believe her anymore that she has someone. He asks to see her, and then he will believe her and apologize for his words. Sylvia shouts out that she has a boyfriend and he has been here all this time. She points at the guy across from her. She just pointed at the guy who wanted a girl but didn't really have one. Gaeun is shocked and doesn't know how to react. And this guy whispers to her that he can help her. To help both the girl and himself, he decided to say that he was really her boyfriend. His friends are shocked why he is doing this. Son is very angry at this whole situation, he didn't believe it and then he was told this, he doesn't want to accept all this information, so he still doesn't believe her that he is her boyfriend. The girl doesn't care, she can believe or not believe, she showed him the main thing, and then it's up to him. She would never have agreed to go out with Son. After that, she took her things and left the bar. Even his friends believed that they were dating, they thought he wasn't seeing anyone, but then he had a girlfriend. Son is angry, shouting that it can't be, but a guy comes up to him and introduces himself as Gaeun's boyfriend. The next day, when it was morning, everyone was going to school, the girl saw Gaeun, started to catch up with her, wanted to apologize for the whole situation yesterday, but she didn't have time for that, she just wanted to leave, and she didn't have time. Her friend doesn't want her to be embarrassed, she only wanted to help yesterday. But if everyone knows the truth, it will get worse. The friend started crying, and then the girl decided to forgive her because she had no choice, but she is worried about what will happen if everyone finds out. She still has nightmares about that day. Her friend decided to ask her if he was really not her boyfriend because he said so yesterday that she believed it. The girl was in the library, sitting at her laptop, and she couldn't get him out of her head, why did he say that if he didn't even know her? She turns her head and there is no one there. But she just starts writing and then the guy who was in the bar yesterday comes up. He asks if she's free and she couldn't say a word out of shock, so he decided to sit down himself. He asked her if she remembered him, she decided to tell him that she didn't, but he saw his name in her laptop and showed it to her, and she immediately closed the laptop. They decided to go outside to talk, as the library is supposed to be quiet. When they were outside, he asked her questions, and she didn't understand why or what he wanted from her. And he would approach her from a distance to get to the point where he said they should try to be in a relationship, like pretend. She doesn't understand why he would do that and would like to find out. He says that she needs to get rid of that guy, so he wants to help, but he doesn't want to say what's in it for him. She doesn't like that, so she decides to call off the deal. She wanted to leave, but he stopped her and explained that he wanted to clear up the rumors about him. And at that moment, he told her everything that happened to him in the company of his friends, which was described at the beginning of the story. Gaeun has been distracted during the whole class, and her friend is worried, asking if it's because of the talk about her behind her back. The friend says something to her, but she can't hear it because she is only talking to Cyril about how there are rumors about him being a homosexual, and he wants her to go out with him to dispel those rumors. She hasn't given him an answer yet, so she is still thinking about whether to agree. Her friend told her so many things, but she didn't listen to her, so her friend decided to go buy her something to drink to help her come to her senses. They were standing by the water machine, choosing water, when Son comes in. He always bought her drinks, and now she has to buy them herself, only he thinks so, because in reality the girl did not take anything from him and did not ask for it. He says that her eyes spoke for her, and she jokes that she will wear sunglasses so that he doesn't misunderstand her. He says something to her, she gets angry, she clenches her hands in anger, her friend calms her down, and she also decides to yell at him. He also started to say that she should be grateful that someone still likes her. The girl didn't respond to him, ignored him, and he thought that she had nothing to say in response. Jaerim came up to them and offered the girl something hot, bought her coffee and gave it to her. She was a little shocked, and so was Son. But she realized that this was her chance to get rid of him forever. So she accepted the drink from him and also decided to praise his new perfume. He bought it because she recommended it to him, so he took some. They took each other's hands. There were people around them, so they heard it all and started discussing it. And Son doesn't believe in their acting anyway. He wanted to tell them something about this guy, but they didn't want to hear it. He thinks they did it all just to make him jealous. But they played it so believably that everyone believed them. He starts shouting out that Jaerim is a homosexual, and from the outside it looked terrible. Everyone now has a bad opinion of him because he hit on her, even though he sees that she has a boyfriend. They played great in front of him, they deserve an Oscar. They wanted to leave, and he said that she would regret choosing him. And he asks her to let him through first, because he doesn't want to see her turn her back on him. He leaves, and she dreams of getting rid of him, and realizes that this fake relationship will help. After school, they sit on the bench and are happy that they played so well. The girl praises the boy because it was all thanks to him. He smiled at this, and the girl noticed that he smiles a lot. The girl wonders why he doesn't just get a girlfriend. He's very handsome, and she thinks a lot of people like him. But he's not ready for a relationship right now, it's too much trouble for him. The girl thinks the same thing, and that's why she doesn't want a relationship. So she decided to tell him why she doesn't want to be in a relationship. He thinks they are perfect for each other until they have feelings for each other. She thinks it will never happen. But there is no need to say never, because no one knows what will happen tomorrow. She wants everything to be perfect, and he will try his best. Because she really wants to get rid of that annoying guy. He told her not to worry, they shook hands and went for a little walk. When the girl was in the dining room, everyone was talking behind her back about her boyfriend being gay. Her friend doesn't understand how they can be together, she didn't even tell him that they knew each other before, and yesterday she dumped her and went with him. The girl took some food, and then Jaerim comes up and helps her carry it. He asks her how her day was, how she slept, and how much he missed her. Her friend is shocked that they are really together. She asks when they could have become so close and if it doesn't bother her that he is a year younger. Of course it doesn't bother the girl. She whispered in her friend's ear that she would tell her everything later, and the friend agreed and left because she had a project group meeting. When they were alone, the girl gave the boy a paper with 100 questions to answer about himself. It was important for her to find out, even if they weren't dating. She also made answers to all of them and gave them to him, and he didn't think she would take it so seriously. And after that, they have to go to class, and later they will meet and talk.